Hello, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, my students from Bijak, SK Kebakat Jaya. So today is Thursday, 18th of February 2021, and today we are going to look at still in our first topic, which is welcome, and we're going to look at how we are going to use has got and have got. All right. As usual, I'm Miss Sarah, and I'll be teaching you today. One is how to use has got and have got, as I mentioned, and another one we're going to look at the objective of the lesson. So by the end of the lesson, you will be able to at least understand the concept of singular and plural nouns. What is singular nouns and what is plural nouns? We're going to learn after this, and hopefully you will also be able to read and understand simple sentences by filling in the blanks correctly. So this will be involved in our little exercise activity that we are going to do at the end of our lesson today. Alright, so without further ado, let's start. Alright, so our main objective today is to learn on how to use has got, and have got. They look almost similar, but different. Similar but different. Sama tapi tak serupa. Alright, we're going, before we can go to how, what is the difference, has got and have got, and how do we use these two in a sentence, we need to first understand singular and plural nouns. So in English, which is different from Bahasa, in English we have different ways of saying, writing, and reading singular and plural nouns. So singular stands for one. Singular stands for one. So, and plural stands for many, which is more than one. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, a million. So let's look at some example to make sure to help you understand it a little bit more. So singular, like I said, is for one. In English, we have a different ways to talk about, read about, or write about a single thing, one thing. It doesn't matter if it's human, it's people, or it's an object, or if it's an animal, it's a building. If it's one, then we have a different ways, a little bit different ways to identify it. All right, and we also have a little bit different way to identify objects or people or animals or cars that are more than one, which is what we call plural nouns. So on the screen right now, I have a few examples of the difference between singular and plural noun. So we have over here a picture of a boy. Can you count how many boys in this box? So there's only one. So one boy. B-O-Y. Boy. One boy. Now let's look at the picture directly below that. Oops, sorry. Okay. Let's look at the picture directly below that. Where is my, oh yeah, there's my arrow. So let's count how many boys in this box. All right, so there's actually 1, 2. So there's actually 2. It's more than 1. If it's more than 1, then it is a plural noun. So 2 boys. 1 boy. 2 boys. B-O-Y-S. Alright? Okay, so that's people, person. All right, so let's look at an object. So pumpkin. How many pumpkin in this picture? One pumpkin. One pumpkin. So can you let's spell one pumpkin. 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 One pumpkin. Now let's look at the picture below it. It's also pumpkin, but we have two. We have two pumpkins. Two pumpkins. Two pumpkins. One pumpkin. Two pumpkins. All right. Okay, let's look at another example. So here, we have an apple, one apple, an apple, apple, A-P-P-L-E, apple, and we have a lot of apples. A lot of apples. You can't really count it very well because the picture is a bit blurry, but you can see that there's a lot. Apples. A lot of apples. So if you can see the pattern here, if it's one, when you do your reading exercise, writing exercise later, one way to know where if the noun is singular, one, or plural, many, is to see if the noun have an S at the end. So for example, if like this boy, it doesn't have an S at the end of the letter, at the end of the word, so it's a singular. Usually it's a singular. And if the noun or if the word has an S at the back of the word, then it means that it is a plural. So you can see here, pumpkin, no S, S. Singular, plural. Scarecrow, no S, no S, one. Scarecrows, S, many. Apple, no S, one. Single, singular. Apples, S, many, more than one. Sunflower, no S, so one. Sunflowers, S, three, more than one. Turkey, turkey, no S, one. Turkeys, 1, 2, 3, 4, more than one. And last one, girl, one, no S. Girls, 1, 2, 3, S, so more than one. So I hope you understand this concept. Just remember that for singular, there is no S. If many, you have S. All right. Let's look at the next slide. All right. So singular and plural nouns. You also need to know how we use singular and plural nouns in personal pronouns. All right. So you need to know this as well. So we have covered this one briefly last week, which is in our last lesson. So I'm just going to repeat it again today. So we have I, we have you, we have he. So although there's a three person here, but the he is referring to this one boy. Referring to this one boy. Not all, one boy. Alright? The same with she. She is referring to this one girl. Alright? Only this girl. Not this boy and this girl. Only this girl. So she is referring to this girl. Alright? It is referring to the cat. Okay, you we have two users. Okay? So one is to refer to one singular person, but you can also use you to refer to a lot of person in front of you that you are directly talking to. And then we also have we. You and I makes we. You and I makes we. So we is, what do you think? It's actually plural nouns because we have more than one. And then we also have they. They is referring to the other person, not including you. Alright, so maybe you have a friend, Amir and Amira, so there. I have friends, they are Amir and Amira. Alright, so for example. So here, let's look at how we're going to use singular and plural nouns with personal pronouns. So I, although it's one, but we put it under plural nouns. Although it's one, but we put it under plural nouns. When we write with it, when we read it, we use plural noun. The same goes with you. Even though I and you is one, but we usually use plural nouns together with I and you. Alright, he, how many? How many boy is it referring to? He is referring to one boy, so it's singular. Same with she, it's referring to one girl, so it's singular. It is referring to one cat, so it's singular. Okay, you over here is referring to 1, 2, 3 people, so it's plural over here. So you can be, you is, we use it as plural here. And then we have we. So we, you, and I. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 is more than 1, so it's plural. And you also have they, 1, 2, so they is plural. Alright, it can be a bit confusing, but I hope that with a lot of practice, you will get the concept. Alright, okay, so now let's look at how to use has got and have got. Has got. Okay, for has got, we use it for singular noun. So remember, singular noun is one person, one object, one building, one animal, one. Singular noun is one. So for example, how do we recognize if it's a singular noun? So you have here girl, boy, apple, he, she, it. Okay, one way to identify if it's singular nouns or plural noun is, like I said, does it has an S at the end of the word? So for example, girl, boy, apple. So there's no S. There's no else. There's no S, so it's singular. Alright, singular. And about he, she, it, like I've shown you before, he is referring to one boy, she is referring to one girl, and it is referring to one object or one animal. Alright? Okay, so let's look at have got. Okay, have got, we use it together with plural nouns. So plural nouns is the opposite of singular nouns. Singular noun is for one object, one person, one building, one animal, one. Plural noun is for many. Plural noun is for many. So for example, like I said, to easily identify singular and plural nouns, see whether the word has an S at the end. So here, girls, you have S here, boys, apples, I, you, we, they. So girls, boys, apples, we have S, we have S, we have S. So that considered them as plural nouns. Okay, so quickly, time is running out. Let's look at some exercise. Okay, for has got and have got. Alright, so for number 1, a boy, an apple in his hand. A boy, an apple in his hand. Alright, do we have an S here? No. So if it doesn't have an S, then it's considered as has got. Has got.